If you have chickens or are thinking about getting them, as you know, there are so many different types of setups. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of mine and explain, well, one, how I got here, and two, some of the advantages for the way that I have things set up. This is my coop. Now, I actually have 4 of these. I started out with 1, and then as my flock grew, I got 2, and then the last, then I went with 2 more. So now I have 4. So although having 1 big coop is always probably easier, there are times that I do wish I had 1 big coop. There are some advantages, so let me tell you about that. This is inside the coop, and you have the roosting bars. Now, it came with 1. I added a second bar just to give them a little bit more space to roost, especially this one because sometimes a hen will come in here that belongs in the other one that's attached to the run, and these guys get a little upset when the hen comes in. But there are 6 nesting boxes, and as you can see, I have this wire. Now, from time to time, when I have juveniles that are ready to move outside and are going to start integrating, and I don't want them to integrate yet, what I do, I remove, I remove these dividers right here. These come out, and this isn't the one I normally use. I have some different wire panels, but what I do is I set up these wire panels right here and block it off so that at night the juveniles, my young, can go in here, and with this whole section blocked off, they are right next to and in the coop with everybody, but they don't have access. And these nesting box opens up on here, so when I want to pull out the guys that are in this area, I can do that. But it works really well integrating, as long as you don't have too many birds, because obviously it's not a ton of space, but it's fine for small young ones when you're integrating. And with the sections pulled out, I can put a stick and something so they have a little roosting bar in there themselves. Hi, puppy. The tray does pull out, so you can pull the tray out to clean. It's very easy to clean, and you know, so it's a very nice coop. Now, it says it holds up to 10. I really have like 6 in each of my coops. Then we have this feature. So underneath is an area that is enclosed, and I also use this for integrating. So of course you can't put a real big hen in there, but if you have chicks that you're trying to integrate and you have your coop right next to your run, the way I have it set up, then you can put the chicks right under here. I also use it if I need to separate somebody who's misbehaving for a timeout, they might go in there. But as you can see, I haven't used this in a while, but I did in the spring when I was integrating the chicks. But it works really well, and if you have that nesting box sectioned off, you can just open it right here and lift them out and put them in. So this one is blocked off, so you can see there's the wire between the under the coop and the run, so they can see each other. They're right next to each other, but they can't get to each other. And this coop, this one, I've opened up the section so that the chickens can go underneath, and they have access under as well as in their run. So if they want to get under here and just get away, they can do that, and I can still open it up and they can come out. And if I need to have this little pen underneath the coop sectioned off, I can just block where I've opened up the section. Hey buddy, like right over there. So right now they can go in and out, but I can block it if I need to, but I really don't, because I have that other coop, and so I leave this one open. Also, as you can see while we're standing here, so I have my coops on the outside of the run, and then I have them up against the run. So I just cut the wire for the run, and I have the door in, and I can open and close the door. So there's a lot of wood going on in here because at one point when I was integrating, I had sectioned off this area for my pita pintas. There happens to be one, and there used to be a door that would separate them. So for a while they had this area, and then once they were integrated, I took the door off, and now they have the whole run of the coop, although they like to still come into their little section, and there's a lot of places for them to roost. And because this roost is up a little high, they have ramps that they can walk on and things to keep them busy and amused. So with this coop setup, I have my run. My run is 10 by 20. And so on each run, I have 2 of these. Each run I have connected 2 coops. So I have pretty much 6 and 6, 6 hens in each, and then the rooster goes in one of the 2 runs. The problem, my neighbors aren't happy about the roosters, so we had an agreement. So my roosters don't go out until 8 o'clock. So whichever coop the rooster's in, which he's a pita pinta and he stays in here with his pita pinta girls, but they don't come out until 8 o'clock. And the other coop, which has the other chickens, they can come out much earlier. As with school starting and all that, I can let them out a little earlier because my neighbors have their granddaughter and they get her up for school, and so she's up, and I know when they get on the bus and all that, so I can let them out a little early. But I try to respect that decision that we made because they were unhappy with the crowing. But yeah, so I have the 2 different coops that are attached to this run. This is a wire run, and I can show you from the other side. It's got a tarp on it. I got this from Amazon. Now what I did, because we get snow in the winter, I built a support in the center. So the support will at least bear most of the weight should there be snow. I still have to come out and scrape the snow off the top of the run when it happens, but that provides that extra support. I've seen too many runs of like made of the wire like this and the metal that have collapsed. We've had ours a couple years and it has held up very well, and the support helps. So that makes a really big difference. So let's see, and then moving over here, this is my second run, and I have a variety over here, and you can see that again there are 2 coops, and I have the space underneath each coop. At one point I did have that front section blocked off. I took most of the wire down because I didn't like it up there, and it wasn't serving any real good purpose. So if I was to integrate more into this run, I would have to probably rebuild it. But you can see there's lots of logs and things for them to climb on, and I actually opened up underneath that front coop so they can go under there. This one here is closed off. Here's a front view of my runs and my coop. I don't know, my husband calls it the chicken ghetto. I don't think he's a big fan of chickens, but I don't think it's a ghetto, do you? But you can see I got the coops there. Everything matches, and yeah, we are getting ready for Halloween. We got a little bit of the Halloween vibe going on. I love Halloween. But we have the roost bars in there. So whoop, you can see my son made those. Those are very easy to make. And you know, we got everybody right down here, but they have plenty of room. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I only have 8 here and here, and then I have more in the other, and then I do have a place that my roosters are separate because I only have 1 rooster in each of the runs with the hens. Okay, so in between my 2 runs, not ideal, and this is temporary, but this is Melody, and he's got a spot. He's in between both. I needed a place to put him, and he can't go in with the other roosters. So he's in between, and it actually has worked out really well. He only spends the day in this area, and having him in the center like that, if I needed to put him in with one of the other flocks, he actually could go in with either one because they know him very well. They're both on either side of him. But Melody does not have a flock right now, and we are actually looking for a flock of his own, so I am trying to find a nice home for him because I really don't have room. Now, he does not sleep out there because it's clearly not safe. He comes in at night and he has a crate that he sleeps in, and I just bring him out in the morning. But speaking about safety and predators, the way these coops are set up, they are really secure. The only thing that I would say that I heard from somebody, their dog once jumped up onto this right here with where the eggs, the nesting box, and somehow pushed this wire through. But this wire is very strong, and I have never had a problem. The windows open and close, so at night I leave them open some in the summer. In the summer I leave them open more, but you can close them down a little bit. And there is a door here that you can use for ventilation. So there's a lot of spots for the ventilation, and another window over here. And again, easy to open and close. The wire is very strong, but these are really nice coops as far as being predator proof. They're raised up off the ground, and they are very secure. Nothing can get inside. I would say the only way something's going to get inside is if you forget to lock and close the door. Inside the coop, you can see here's the door. The door is just open and close this way. You want to make sure you always lock them though, because yes, a predator could get into the run. I only have chicken wire, and I am aware that that itself is not predator proof, but I am always here, or someone is here, so the chickens are not left alone, and they do not go out at night. Everybody goes in by dark. And we also have cameras and motion lights out here, and the coop doors are always closed and secure. So at some point I will be getting more hardware cloth, and I will be running it around the outside and burying it, but right now I do not have that. So I am very aware of the potential for a raccoon or something to get through into the run, but again, it's monitored all day when the chickens are out. And I have security cameras as well, so I can always see what's going on. And and I have a lot of little things. We have our ghost right here, but we have a lot of little things for them to do. You can see this section. This is the internal wire that I had made so that I could set up a separate area. And I did at one point have a door there, but without needing it blocked off, I took the door off. So this is underneath, and the wire's open, and everybody can go under this one if they want to. On the other side, hello, Peter Pintas, and like I said, you could see some of the things I have for them to climb up on. And my rooster, hi, he's following me around. Watch out, buddy. So on this side, as you can see, the wire's still here. So this is good because, again, it's a very easy way to integrate integrate the babies. Or I don't get new birds from outside. Any of my new birds are birds that I have bred, so I don't have to worry about the isolation period because they all come from my stock. but this allows them to be together but not together, and they are right there with each other. And if I have a lot where I need more room, I do have this area over here, but I mostly needed that when I was getting my foundation breeds together, and I had 5 pita pintas over there, so I needed a larger section, and they had the whole coop to themselves when they were young, when I was integrating them and with the older guys that I have here. Working on this, but our dust bath is going to be, say hello. They like to come over and see me. We got somebody pecking on my leg, and there's a rooster and Iron Man back there, but the dust bath is underneath their roost bar, and you can see that roost bar. My son made that. It was really easy. All you need is a few pieces of wood, and you just put it together. And I think it's a little cockeyed, but it works, and they like it, and they spend a lot of time up there, and so that works really well. But I have their little dust bath area. Plus, one of my hens had hatched a chick. That was one of the ones that is underneath here. Let's see, right over there. So that chick was hatched by the hen next to her. That's not her biological mother, but that's Opal. And she decided to sit on the egg, and she had 4. And the 3, we lost 3 that never hatched, but this one did. So we had a lot of things set up in the run for the baby, so that she could escape from the bigger hens. Some of the things that I did, I have the waterers that are elevated, and although I left the ramp there, she had the ramp so that she could get up if she needed to, and I have another waterer here elevated, and the picnic table. So there was a lot of areas that she could get into and hide if she wanted to get away from everybody. Oh look, everybody's coming to see me. Hi, buddy. So that worked really well, because if you do have chicks, especially hen-raised chicks in your run, you don't want to put them in if they are not hen-raised. You don't want to put them in until they're about the same size, but with any chicks that a hen hatches, you want to make sure they have some safe spots to go and hide, and so that's something that's really important. And having a nice rooster is also really important. I love my rooster. He's a good boy. He has no problem with me coming in and handling him or the hens, and that makes for a lot easier time when you have to come in and do stuff or move things around or clean. But basically, this is my setup, and I have the same setup. It's a little bit different. I have some different features in there on the other side, but everything's pretty much the same. And I just take wood and things that I have around here. My fence there, that was an old fence that we had, and I just took the pickets and used that. But you can make all kinds of things. My husband likes to, we cut and chop and split our own firewood, so he's open to me stealing some of his logs sometimes. And I had a big clay pot that was kind of broken and I couldn't use for plants, so I have that there in the corner and turned it upside down. It makes a nice stand or whatever for my roost bar. And an old stool, don't use anymore, that I put in here, and I use that as a support, and they like to stand on that. And then a bunch of stones that we had laying around, and those work really well too. So basically, this is my setup. And last but not least, this is my backup coop that I have in case of an emergency, or when I get too many, or like right now, I have another rooster, and then I have another rooster inside, and his girlfriend, buddy, I'm not sure what you want, the 2 roosters that are in there right now, those are looking for a new home and will be going soon. And Okara, my death layer right here, he's one that I bred here, and he will be staying. And I have something more permanent coming for him, just don't have it set up yet. But always a good idea to have a backup coop. You never know when you're going to need the space. And it's also good for a sick bay, although mine is really too close to the other coop. An isolation or sick bay should really be about 30 to 60 feet away, in case of for airborne illnesses and things like that. But this is what I have right now, and it has worked. Probably when I get another setup, I'm going to move this one a little further away, but we've done a lot of modifications to this coop to make sure that it's safe, and it actually is really sturdy for like one that you can buy. Actually, I mean they sell this one at Walmart, but it is very sturdy. You just have to make sure everything's really secure. With this, because it's got dirt, it just sits on the ground with an open bottom, so something could dig under there. So to take care of that, we have first, you can't really see where the line is, but there is hardware cloth, and that is zip tied on and buried under the ground. Then on top of that, we have these predator stakes. I don't know what exactly they're called, but they go down in the ground. So if something digs, they're going to hit the bottom of these, which are buried in the ground, and they can't dig through. I also have rubber roof that goes on top, as you can see, and everything gets closed up at night, so nothing can get in there. But this coop is very, very secure. And actually, when I first got my very first flock, this was the coop I used. I had a few, and it worked really well. I've never had a problem. We've had quite a few raccoon and possum come around, and this was one solid, sturdy coop that nothing could get into. I should also note that what I did, when I put this together and it was flipped over on the far side where the actual coop is, that has all hardware cloth underneath of it, and there is hardware cloth under the ground right here, but again, it's buried in there. At one point I had two that were connected together, so there's wood there. That's all done solid, so nothing can get through. But you can see the whole outside has that predator proofing, and then you have the fronts done, and then there's stones which are like buried in the ground, you can't see, but through the front, so nothing can dig in. And I added this temporary enclosure because, hey, this is Moo, and Moo is looking for his own flock. I know, baby. He is looking for his own flock, so he will be leaving shortly as soon as I find an appropriate home for him. And Piggy, that's his girlfriend, sidekick, Little Miss Piggy, and Okara. So they are getting along fine now. At some point there will be problems because I have two roosters in here, but for right now they are fine, and Moo and Pig will be leaving very soon. But always a good idea to have some kind of backup coop, and especially if you have a cat that is watching over them, making sure nothing can get to them. But you can see they are pretty close, so that's something that I need to adjust. And then I have some extra like pens when I do the integrating that I use. This is one of them, and I have all kinds of stuff laying around. You just never know. You'd be surprised at the things. You could see some of the scraps and pieces, because I was trying to build another run and would like to build a run off of this. Although if I am getting another coop, I'm going to save that run for that other coop. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? But that is basically my setup and why I have things the way that I do.